Please adhere to YouTube select guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be eating onigiri at the Edo-Tokyo Open Air Architectural Museum, which, as the name implies, is an architectural museum in Tokyo. They have reconstructions, preservations, and restorations of many buildings dating all the way back to the 1800s and all the way up until the mid-1900s. I have been walking around for a little while now, and I'm starting to get hungry, and so as such I figured, hey, why not make a video of me eating some onigiri here, and why not show off some of the buildings while I'm at it. Here is a historic bathhouse that I think has some beautiful architecture to it. There's a little bit of a bar down there as well, which I think looks absolutely very cool in my personal opinion. Let's just go ahead and take a look inside real quick. I do want to eat some onigiri, but I am not in a too terribly big of a rush, because I do also want to show y'all some of the buildings. But here is a historic Japanese bar, which I think looks really cool. If you ask me, this building was from 1856 from the Taito Ward in Tokyo, I believe it is. And while this is so far one of my favorite buildings I have seen, it's not my absolute favorite. For that, we've got to walk down this street over here to take a look at the grocery store. We can see there is a liquor, and I want to say this is a soy sauce shop, if I remember correctly. Yes, soy sauce shop, built around 1933, and they have some whiskey in there as well, as we can see. But I'd have to say probably my favorite building in the entirety of this street, which is very cool in my personal opinion, is not that one over there, not that one over there, not that one over there. It's this one right here. And that is because it has a cigarette display. That's the only reason, and I'm going to take a look at it in just a moment. We can see this is the grocery store, built in 1928, and 3 stories. And tobacco shop fixture here is from the 1940s and was donated by this guy. And we can see this is the tobacco shop fixture. We can see they have some Golden Bat cigarettes. They have some other ones. I don't know what those are, I will acknowledge, but very cool stuff. Some safety matches as well. And overall, a beautiful tobacco shop fixture in my personal opinion. Just says cigarettes right there. I'm assuming that just says tobacco in Japanese, and has a little bit of an image right there as well. And you can even go around to the other side and take a look at it, like if you're selling stuff. Very cool to see what a tobacco shop fixture would look like if you were in 1940s Japan. No complaints on my behalf, I will acknowledge. Let's go ahead and walk down the street just a little bit. I think my plan is to just give you guys a good view down the street real quick. There's one other thing I want to take a look at, and then I want to go ahead and grab myself a drink, a nice cold bev, and I want to go and eat some onigiri because I'm a bit hungry. But that's the view down the street. Looks amazing. Overall, I gotta admit, this museum very much is a architect's dream, or an architecture enthusiast's dream. I might not be an architect, but I do like beautiful architecture, and it's very cool to see this stuff. I'm enjoying myself without a doubt. I have the choice of a couple drinks, I will acknowledge. This vending machine has Pocari Sweat, which I think is exactly what I want. They also have some water, along with some Monster. I don't think I want any Monster right now. They don't have any Coca-Cola, no Dr. Pepper. I would get Dr. Pepper otherwise, but they have canned Pocari Sweat, which I've never had before. So I think I'm going to try some canned Pocari Sweat today, and I think that's what I'm going to go for. So let's get my 500 yen coin out of my pocket, and let's put it in and get myself some canned Pocari Sweat. Very cool. Get my change. Oh. There we go. I think it thought I might have wanted to buy more than one drink because I had enough for more than one. And let's go ahead and grab my canned Pocari Sweat. Looking forward to finding out if it is better or worse than bottled Pocari Sweat, which is all I've ever had. let's go ahead and find a place to sit down in the shade. It's very warm today. If I don't sit down in the shade, I'm gonna get burned. But we can see there's a nice little tram. I believe this is from the 1930s. Used to run, I think it's either through Shibuya or Shinjuku. Let's take a look at the sign real quick. Where's the sign for this one? I can't remember. It's in the brochure. I'll have to take a look at that once I sit down. But very cool in my personal opinion. No complaints on my behalf about this tram. There's some more vending machines over here. I don't see anything I'm particularly interested in though. I could sit down here or I could go sit over there. I'm kind of thinking I want to sit over there because then I'm not in the shade from a man-made shelter. Excuse me. I'm in the shade from a very nice old tree. So I think that's where I want to sit. And once I'm done eating my onigiri, I think I am then gonna walk around a little bit more, explore some more of the museum, because I've only really covered this side and a little bit of the central portion of the museum, and there's a lot more to take a look at. So I think after I eat the onigiri, gonna explore a little bit more, and gonna walk back to the central area of the museum, because they do have a smoking area, I will acknowledge. Not allowed to smoke here, as we can see it does have a no smoking sign. Now I'm trying to think of a good place to set down my camera, I will acknowledge. Maybe I'll go and get my tripod out for this portion of the video. I think that might make this easy. I've got one onigiri, I've got two onigiri, and then I've got my tripod somewhere in here. There it is, found my tripod. Let's go ahead and put my camera on that real quick. And that's the view I've got. Man, the view is very nice. No complaints on my behalf. It is beautiful out here. And behind me, we can see there's a nice little sort of canal or something like that kind of thing. There's a crow or a raven over there as well. Well, let's go ahead. I don't know if this is really pointing at me super well, I will acknowledge. I'm just going to kind of point it up just like that. Hopefully that's all good. But I'm going to go ahead. I think first off, before I get one of my two onigiri all opened up, I want to try canned Pocari Sweat for the first time. I gotta admit, I think the packaging on the can looks amazing. I love how it looks. This is 480 milliliters. It looks like a lot more. It looks more like 600 milliliters in my personal opinion, but 480 milliliters apparently. And man, it feels so nice on my skin right now. I'm not gonna lie, like that feels amazing. It is very warm. It is like 90 degrees today. And while there is a little bit of a breeze, it's not as breezy as it could be. Although, that's probably a good thing because otherwise my hat would be flying off and then I'd be getting sunburned on the top of my head. But, packaging for this Pocari Sweat looks fantastic. Looks even better than the packaging on the bottles of Pocari Sweat in my personal opinion. It looks a little bit more retro as well. I personally think can designs tend to look more retro than bottle designs. Unless it's glass bottles, that's an exception. But let's go ahead and see if I can get this opened up and see what canned Pocari Sweat is like for the first time. Will it taste the same as bottled Pocari Sweat, or will it be a little bit different? Let's find out. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. It tastes about the same, honestly. Although I will admit, I do think I prefer it out of a can. In my opinion, drinks that come out of plastic bottles, you get a little bit of a plastic tinge to the taste of your drink, I will acknowledge, just kind of my personal take. That's not noticeable until you try that same drink out of something else, and then it becomes noticeable, and that's very much how I'm feeling right now. Like, I personally think like the metally taste of a drink coming out of a can is better than the plasticky taste of a drink coming out of a plastic bottle, and that's really the only difference there is, that plasticky versus can taste or metal taste of Pocari Sweat out of a metal can versus a bottle. That's really the only difference between the two Pocari Sweats I've tried, one out of bottle, one out of can. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I think without further ado, it's time for me to go and get to eating. I have some grilled salmon onigiri from New Days. Now, I've had salmon onigiri from 7-Eleven, Lawson's, Family Mart, and I believe, honestly, that's it. I don't believe I've ever had... Oh, I've had some from like, some grocery stores as well. Like, I want to say Moretsu and Aeon. I want to say I've had onigiri from those as well. But I don't believe I've ever had an onigiri from New Days. Will it be better or worse than, like, your standard 7-Eleven onigiri? Looking forward to finding out. I will acknowledge, just right off the bat, Definitely opens very easily. Could just be a one-off, but that was really easy. That was super easy, in fact. Now, one thing I noticed about this onigiri, a lot of like the salmon ones for onigiri and stuff, it's just like rice, seaweed, and onigiri with maybe some preservatives. This had a bit more ingredients, I will acknowledge, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but it had a bit more ingredients than like this Family Mart 7-Eleven Lawson's onigiri, so I'm wondering if it's actually going to be any better with those extra ingredients. We'll find out. Excuse me. Without further ado, let's get to eating some onigiri at the Edo-Tokyo Open Air Architectural Museum. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. Pretty solid, no complaints on my behalf. Rice could be a little bit more salty without doubt. But it does have enough salt, I would have to say. There's some onigiri I've eaten before where the rice is just not salty enough at all. This is on the low end of saltiness in my personal opinion, but it's like workable. The rice itself doesn't really have all that much saltiness to it. Like, there's a little bit, but not much. The main saltiness, the heaviest saltiness, is definitely from the salmon, which is very much just that of a, I'd have to say, grilled salmon. Just a very lightly grilled salmon. But overall, not very solid, not bad at all. I mean, like, I gotta admit, New Days, honestly, not the best onigiri I've ever had, but certainly not the worst, and it's definitely on the upper echelon of, like, quality onigiri I've had from, like, convenience stores and stuff. And, wow, that salmon is actually really salty. That is super nice. I got no complaints on my behalf about that. That was very nice. Delicious. Now, right in front of me over there, I believe that's a fire watch tower, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me look at the brochure real quick, and this is a really good opportunity to take a look at the brochure with y'all, which is very well written and is an amazing brochure, I gotta acknowledge. Like, this stuff is great. Like, this is free, and it's a great brochure. Well, I guess technically, the brochure itself, it's free with your ticket, but it's not actually free. Tickets for this museum are 400 yen, so around about like what, $2.50 USD, I want to say. Really not bad, especially for a museum where honestly, I think you can spend an entire afternoon here. I've already been here for, I want to say about an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm having a great time, and I haven't even looked at all of the buildings yet. I've just been wandering around, but let's take a look at where we are right now in the brochure. So we can see we are currently in the East Zone right there, and there is the farmhouse of Ten Myo family, which I don't believe I saw. I think that's over there if I remember correctly. There's also the Kodera soy sauce shop, which I showed y'all. And then there's the bar, which we also saw. There's the public bathhouse, which we saw. There's also the stationery store. I might walk back by there and just show y'all the stationery store because it's pretty cool in my opinion. Tailor's Workshop, Flower Shop, which I think I missed, I'll acknowledge. I don't know where that was, but I think I missed it. There's a police box, which I actually think, police box, I believe, that looks, I'm pretty sure that's the police box. We're gonna have to take a look at that once I finish eating my second onigiri, I will acknowledge. There's definitely a bunch of stuff that I have not seen quite yet. And here's the grocery store with the cigarette display. Very cool if I do say so myself. No complaints on my behalf. We're gonna have to go check all this stuff out in just a little bit. Lots of very cool stuff, without a doubt. Let's go and eat my other onigiri once I go ahead and take another sip of my Pocari Sweat. No complaints on my behalf. Very smooth, very nice and chilled, and I gotta admit, Pocari Sweat is very refreshing. But man though, that food was delicious. However, it also made me want to have a smoke. Now, one thing to note about this museum, I was thinking about bringing an alcoholic drink to have while sitting down and eating some lunch. Oh, they're telling people to stay hydrated. That's what it is. They're telling people to stay hydrated. Makes sense, makes sense. Well, I was thinking about bringing a drink here. I was thinking about bringing some alcohol here to stay hydrated. However, I decided not to. I decided it might have not been the greatest idea. And it turns out it was not, because I wouldn't have been able to have it, because it says, please refrain from bringing any alcoholic beverages into the museum. So I wouldn't have been following the rules if I had not, listened to that, and if I had actually brought alcohol into the museum. And I don't want to get banned from this museum because I'm quite liking it. I will acknowledge, I don't want to get banned. Well, I think I'm going to get up, go take a look at the police box, the top of the watchtower for fires, and then I'm going to go take a piss and walk around a little bit more. I think that's my plan. So let's do just that after I put away my tripod. Let's go, let's go. Cans and plastic bottles. Let's go ahead and now take a look at the police box right here, which was built in, looks like the late Meiji period estimated. They don't know exactly when. But apparently this police box used to be located at the foot of Mansei Bridge in Canada, next to Mansei Station, or near Mansei Station. Suffered severe damage as a result of the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923. So this is older than 1923. That's pretty crazy. Well, let's go ahead and take a look inside. Architecturally, it looks like a pretty standard police box. Nothing super crazy. Like there's a post thing there too. Pretty nice. Let's take a look inside. No touch. No touch. And I guess you could sleep in the police box at that time. That's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at the fire watchtower as well. This is from 1925, and this was very tall, but we only have the top portion now, which I think honestly makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be all the way up there. But it's pretty cool. I don't actually have to piss as bad as I thought I had to. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the inside of the tram. I like the copper sheeting on this building. I think it's really cool. And I think the florist, also, very nice looking building, I will acknowledge. I don't think I've walked inside this one yet, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. It's definitely not air conditioned in here, but it definitely feels a lot better than outside, even with a lack of breeze. Just the shade makes that much of a difference, I think. Ooh, nice phone. No Garfield phone, though. So, what's in front of us right now is the stationery store. Is Takei-san Shodo, which is built in 1927. It's pretty cool to see because I like stationery. And I like visiting modern stationery stores, but this is definitely not one of those. Brushes. Very cool stuff, though. Some nice ink sort of tablets, I want to say it is. Very cool to see. Oh, abacuses. Abacuses, for real. Underrated as hell. Goated. I love abaci. Or is it abacuses? I wonder. I think it's time to go ahead and take a look at some other stuff, though. We've taken a look at this street, more so than not. I kind of want to go look at, I think, the house that's over here. So this is the farmhouse of the Temyo family. I'm gonna have to read the placard for this one, I will acknowledge. But so far, I'm liking the greenery. I love the gate. I love big doors on houses. This is pretty nice, not gonna lie. And man, I like the front pavilion as well. This is sweet. I could smoke so many cigars out here. Set up a bench, set up a table. Whew, perfect. It's very nice. This is pretty sweet. I could deal, you know, I could live with that house. I'd be okay with that. Oh man, look at this. Oh, this is amazing. They got the glass. You can slide open the door and you can just sit there in the house, but you got your like feet and stuff outside, smoking, drinking. Yo, that's amazing. I love that. That's amazing. Yup. I would be a-okay living in this house. Fine by me. I would be alright with that. This was a worthwhile thing to look at. Very cool. We are going to now try to get out of here though. I think we can go, already went in that way. I think we can go out this way. So let's go out this way. And I think now we're gonna pass by one house which I've already gone through. I'll just show you guys the outside of it real quick, just the front of it. But I am needing a smoke. So I'm gonna go have one. Take a look over here actually. There's a light as well. What is this light? I completely missed this. This is an electric light from the front gate of the Imperial Palace from the 1890s. That's huge. That's pretty cool. Very cool stuff. I love the style. It's very, I don't know, Victorian maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Very interesting though. This gate, what is this gate? I'm not sure. It tells us where we can go though. So there is East Square, gate of Date family residence. Oh, there's more. And then second house of the C4 Nishikawa family. Okay. I gotta admit, I think whoever had this gate might have had a little bit of money. Because man, like, look at the size of this gate. It's huge. I love these. I see these in Japan, and so the water just comes down it rather than just coming down through like a pipe. I honestly kind of want to get some of these for like back home. I think they're sick. And here's the gate. So there's just a park right next to this museum, or this museum is part of a park, but you have to pay to get in the museum. You don't have to pay to get at the park though. But I'm gonna go continue down the path that I was on and see what else is there. And I think this is the second house. Please use the front entrance, which I think is this. I'm not gonna go in. But I will take a look from outside. I could sit there, smoke a cigarette or two, you know. I would be pretty satisfied with that. Look at this pond. This is nice. Nice. Come out here, smoke a cigar, get your feet in the water on a hot summer day. I'd have no complaints on my behalf. But yeah, this is like the house where I really would not mind living. It's got like glass sliding windows up there, got balconies. There's a historic shrine over there as well, which is pretty cool. The doors are only open on Sundays, which is today, which is very interesting. That and I think specific holidays as well. Take a look at that real quick. There it is. I like the art on it. It's pretty nice. Doors are open. Not allowed to go inside, but that's perfectly fine. I'm content with just seeing it. Very cool though. Very cool though. My hat feels like it's about to fly off. Alrighty there, y'all. The shrine's right back there. Here's the cannon. Apparently this was a cannon that was used to signal noon every day by firing a blank. And it was at the main building of the Imperial Palace, used from the 1870s, 1871 to be precise, to April 1929. But here is the smoking area. I'm gonna go and have a smoke. And I gotta admit, y'all, the ashtray's pretty nice. There were a couple of people here that were just here, looked like they finished up their cigarettes a minute ago though, so they headed out. But the ashtrays, pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Very nice, solid metal ashtrays, without doubt. Go and put my camera down, and it is indeed a magnetic ashtray, no complaints on my behalf. Got a Wakaba with me today. Let's go ahead and sit down, because I kind of want to sit down in the shade. And get to it. I gotta admit though, overall, this area right here, pretty nice. Very nice, unique ashtrays, if you ask me. Let's go ahead and show them real quick. There's my backpack, there's the ashtrays, and very nice solid metal, without doubt. They've got two of them, got some water over there so you can stub your flame out in that, no issue. Or so if a fire does occur, I suppose, so you can just pour it in the ashtray or something like that kind of thing. But no seats or anything like that. No big amenities here, I will acknowledge. However, I certainly didn't expect any amenities, and honestly, I was not expecting an area like this at all. I was not expecting a smoking area when I walked in this museum today. So really, honestly, I can't complain. The ground is clean as ground outside can be, and it's not a super busy smoking area either. When I walked in the museum, I came over here, and another dude walked over when I was walking out. Coming in here, there are two people in here. They both left. Sounded like they, or looked like they had just finished off their stuff when I was walking up. And now I'm sitting here. So just a small amount of people in and out every once in a while. But overall, I gotta admit, this museum, absolutely worth visiting. Absolutely do visit this museum if you're in Tokyo, if you have the chance. If it's not raining, don't visit if it's raining, I will acknowledge, because it's all outside. However, I definitely do think it's worth visiting if it's a nice day, like it is today. It's a bit warm, but it's pretty nice other than that. And it's a good museum. I highly recommend. 400 yen is a banger deal for this museum. You could literally spend an entire afternoon here, an entire morning here. Maybe not an entire day, but go walk around the local area after you're done around here, and then take the train back to your Airbnb unless you're staying around this area. And I don't feel too out of place vlogging, because everybody here has a nicer camera than me. No joke, everybody here has a nicer camera than me. Am I getting lens envy? Yes, a little bit. A little bit of lens envy. I'm seeing some people walk around with nice lenses on their DSLRs. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do that move. Don't want to be causing no fires. But overall, pretty nice area in my personal opinion. Good spot to enjoy a snack, I will acknowledge. No complaints on my behalf. I think now I'm gonna go ahead and explore some new areas of the museum, which I have not done yet, so I think I'm gonna do that real quick. And first off, I'm seeing a house right in front of me that I kind of want to go take a look at because I love the architecture. I like this house a lot. This is really cool. I don't know what's going on with this house. History-wise, I didn't see a plaque, but I love the style of it. It kind of reminds me of, like, it kind of reminds me of, I want to say, like, a Japanese style, like, Sears house. That's kind of what it reminds me of, and I'm kind of a fan of Sears houses, so I quite like this. I think I might go around to the entrance and walk inside real quick. I think I gotta take off my shoes, but no issue. I like this house. Do I need to take off my shoes? So there's a front entrance. That's not the front entrance. I don't know where the front entrance is. I gotta figure that out. This would be the front entrance, I suppose. That's probably what I'm looking at. Take off my shoes. Big bed. Will do. I like that bathtub. Just needs a shower and it's perfect. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah. I like this. I like this house a lot. So it's very interesting though. This is more of a Western style house, but they still have a tatami room. That's very interesting. I wonder when this house was made. I gotta look at the plaque if I can find one. Kitchen, very old style. It's not quite open floor plan enough for me, but I do like it. This is a nice, like, indoor patio. Look at that. That's nice. I like that. As is the case with a lot of the houses here, I would be perfectly content living in that house as well. Like, I need to upgrade the kitchen a little bit, but I'd be very happy nonetheless with that house that I just went through. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this one as well. I like this one as well. 1942. That's very cool. Man, oh, I love the style. I love this. I love the wall. I'm a fan. I like this a lot. I like this house too. Toilet. Western style toilet. That's crazy. Oh, I like this. Is so nice. Window, radiator. I like this. I like this a lot. This is a really nice area for like working or knickknacks. This desk. Ooh, nice solid wood desk. I like this house. I think I might like this house even more than the last one. Oh, I like the kitchen too. Nice fridge. Ooh. Man, I don't even gotta upgrade the kitchen at all. This, oh, that tub. Oh, that's nice. I gotta admit, I'm a fan of this house. Yeah, I quite like this house. I'd be pretty happy living here. This is nice. I like this. I like this a lot. Lounge area. Beautiful lounge area. They also got these at every house. That's how you know you're in a bougie museum. If they have shoe thingamajigs at every house. I will acknowledge, I think this is my favorite house I've been in so far. This, I gotta take a photo. This is awesome. I love this. This is such a nice house. And there's even more. My goodness. Entrance. House of Quady. I don't know if I want to go in all the houses, but I'll walk around at least. Yo, what is this? This is like Victorian style or something. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not in architecture. I'm not super knowledgeable about architecture. That's crazy nice. I gotta go in there. I like the front of this house. Or maybe this is the back, I'm not sure. It looks like something right out of a Ghibli movie, in my opinion. I like it. They've got frosted windows for like really good lighting, but it's like amazing lighting in here. This is perfect for photography. I gotta admit, this is pretty nice as well. I gotta admit, this building, very nice as well. Really, in my opinion, it does just look like it is right out of a Ghibli film. That's nice. I like that. And I like this bench too. I want one of these benches. I want one of these. That's sick. So this looks like, I think it's another house. I don't know if I want to go inside, but I will take a look at the gardens in a minute. And I will take a look around. I gotta admit, these are some very nice gardens right here. Ooh, man. Oh, man. And the house from this angle? Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Oh, I almost just rolled my ankle. This is nice. Look at this garden. Bro. I could have so much pipe tobacco back here. This is sweet. They even have place. They can sit over there. Bro. They got benches. Well, you're not supposed to sit because it's historic, but if I was the homeowner, I'd be sitting there. Let me just put it that way. And beautiful, meticulously maintained garden as well. I'm too lazy to meticulously maintain a garden, I'll acknowledge, but this is really nice. This is sweet. I like this area. I like this house. I don't know if I'd really, really want to live in it, because there's some other really nice houses here that I would much rather live in, but I don't think I'd have any complaints, in all honesty. And oh, another vending machine. I don't think I'm needing any more Pocari Sweat, but I could go for a Dr. P. They got any Dr. P? They got any Dr. Pepper? Let's see, let's find out. I am not seeing any Dr. Pepper. I don't know what this is, but it ain't Dr. Pepper. I think we are going to have to say no to any more drinks for the moment and keep walking. from what I can tell, this is a cafe, I think now. I am just gonna walk inside, and it says, don't take off your shoes, so we're all good. So if I'm understanding correctly, this house was built in 1910, and then it was, at that time, a single-story Western-style house that was then made bigger, like a decade later, I want to say, by a German architect, and was made into a 3-story house. Like, that's wild. Taking a single-story house, making it into a 3-story, and making it look like it was always that way is so impressive to me. And that's exactly what they've done with this house. Very cool. I like the balcony. I gotta go take a look at that. Oh, I can't go outside. But that's nice. I'd be okay with that, you know? Very cool. And there's a cafe in the bottom floor as well. I don't think I can eat anything there, but it was pretty cool. Well, that was a pretty nice house. Can't complain, you know what I'm saying? And that balcony up there sure does look nice. Let's keep taking a look around. So it appears the area we're in right now is more of a very, very, very ultra traditional style Japanese house area. Like, this is super ultra traditional Japanese style, if you ask me, at least from my perception as a Westerner. I could be wrong, but it looks very traditional. I'm just gonna glance in. Pretty nice, if I do say so myself. You just got all the boards, you just open them right up. No glass windows because glass is expensive. Ooh. That's pretty nice if you ask me. Not my personal style. I don't know if I'd want to live there myself, but it's a nice piece of architecture and I love to see it. There's the farmhouse of the Tsunshima family? Mid-Edo period. 1792? That's crazy. That's wild. So, like, they got a traditional, like, fireplace right there. Oh, that's very cool. I feel like I just walked onto the set of a house from walking through that house, I feel like I walked into the set of a house from Musashi, which is a great anime, I highly recommend. Also, some Ghibli-esque elements as well for real, without a doubt. It's got an interesting, unique smell to it. I don't know if it's the tatami floors or if it's the wood that was used. I don't know, it almost smells like Almost like a cinnamon stick or something like that. I'm not sure. It smells very interesting though. And once again, beautiful interior, and really does look like just walked into like the set of a Ghibli film or a Musashi episode or something like that kind of thing. I think the last thing I need to take a look at is the building right over there. While I'm walking over there, let's get a good view of the house. This is pretty nice. That's big. That's a big house. I didn't realize how big it was because I kind of approached it from the corner. But it really is very big. And once again, whole perfect area to have a cigar. No complaints on my behalf. Perfect area to have some kisseroo pipe. No complaints on my behalf. Now what is this up here? I saw this in the brochure, but I've got no idea what this is. They got a garden. Oh, how historic is this garden? That's the real question. That's what I want to know. How old are these plants? That's what I want to know, you know what I'm saying? Elevated granary. Huh. So it's been relocated twice. Huh. So these are a thing even still today. That's really interesting. That's very cool. Sadly, no smoking right there. It is what it is. No smoking anywhere but at the area I was at previously. But ain't too big of a deal by any means. This is magnetic? Nope, it's aluminum. So just taking a look at the map that I've gotten in front of me right now, I believe we have taken a look at everything. There are some other paths I could walk around, but I've taken a look at, I believe, every single building that I needed to take a look at. Now all I gotta do is go over to the gift shop, but I think I'm gonna do that on my own, see what they have, see if I wanna buy myself some souvenirs. And, well, since I've taken a look at all of the buildings at the Edo-Tokyo Open Air Architectural Museum, I'm thinking it's time for me to go and end this video right here. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I walked around the Edo-Tokyo Open Air Architectural Museum, ate some onigiri there, and also drank a can of Gari Sweat. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. I had a great time making it. I had a great time walking around, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you guys have enjoyed watching, like, subscribe, check out everything in the, description down below. Until the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?